Pringle looking towards Agard. Ravel, ambitious, but brilliant! I don't believe it! I swear I do not believe it! And they are back on terms!
Hello and welcome to New York Talk. This is our pre-season prediction episode where we're going to go through how we think the season ahead is going to go before it gets real next Saturday as Plymouth Argyle come to town. So we've got a full house today for the first time ever, 5 Rotherham fans all together. We've got Ben with us, who's still got his lovely pink cast on.
Yeah, don't even get me started on my episode. Got it on.
I know, so it's great. We've got Danny Glade with us again, just to join us, mate.
Hello, pleasure to be here again.
Lewis Oldham, you're with us as well. You both got classic shirts on. I appreciate the effort.
We got the memo.
And we've got Mick, as regular listeners will know, he sometimes turns up in a car park in Wales, and today is one of those days.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm parked right in back corner at Co-op car park at Bentlick in Anglesey, waiting for cops to come and ask me what I'm doing.
Yeah, it doesn't dodge it all.
Wow.
Yeah.
If I disappear, you'll know what's happened.
So here we go. We're going to talk about the Middlesbrough game that happened. Go through some transfer news. Even though it's not, we record Sunday night, so there are expected to be transfers confirmed Monday morning, or latest Tuesday. But we can't talk about them yet. But we will talk about as much as we can. We've got a little chat from Paul Davis later on as well. I spoke to him earlier for 10 minutes, which will be part of this episode. So let's get on with it. Danny, I think you were the only one that went to the Middlesbrough game. We're all other commitments. It wasn't a disaster, but it did not go well for us for many reasons.
Yeah, that all important. But I'd say in the second half we were a lot better than the first half. I think I don't know what it was. I think just Middlesbrough just sort of shocked us a little bit. You know, I think for some players it might have been the occasion of Matt Crooks coming back and they don't really want for him to show them up, possibly. And I would say the first half would have probably ended goalless if not for that spectacular free kick that Middlesbrough scored. And I think if Johansson was still on the pitch, he would have saved it. But because we had young Josh Chapman in goal as backup, I mean, it might have just been a bit of a catching him out. You know, I didn't expect it to go that way or something. I don't know. But in the second half, we were a lot better. We showed a bit more of the championship bit ability we've got in our squads. But like you say, it wasn't a disaster. It just would have been nice to go through pre-season unbeaten and not a bit of that thing at the back of your mind of, well, we've lost the final game. How will that affect us against Plymouth next week? You know, but it is what it is. Not a disaster, but you're entertaining. We'll say that you're entertaining.
Yeah. Lewis, you did an article last week for us on Victor Hansen, which is still up on NewYorkTalk.co.uk if you want to give it a look. He came off injured 15 minutes into the game. There's no confirmation yet how serious it is. I think we'll wait for a scan on Monday. I think from what he said, he could be out for 4 or 5 weeks. He could be back in on Saturday. If he's out for 4 or 5 weeks, the transfer business is going to be ramped up again because we're going to need another keeper. At least
What injury is it?
Quad.
Yeah, like I say, it could be out, couldn't it? I remember I said on the last podcast, I said like touch wood, don't get injured. So you can blame me for him getting injured, can't you? But yeah, I think it could be anything, couldn't it? So hopefully it's only a couple of day job and it can be back for Saturday. Like otherwise, like you said, we're gonna have to bring someone else in, especially with Vickers. I don't know how long Vickers is out for, but I know he's out.
Similar time, I think it was a month or so.
Is it? All right. Yeah. So in that case, we'll have to bring someone else in, even if it's just a short-term loan. But yeah, fingers touch wood again that it's not anything serious and he's coming back for Saturday.
That's him out for the season, though. It's not even that.
Oh yeah, I'll just I'll talk about him ever again.
It's another quad injury, mate. Who got 2 current quad injuries, both undetermined length of issues. Icky and Victor both got quad issues. Both might be for Saturday. Both could be out for a month. Shane Ferguson had a flare-up of his quad. Not an injury, but a flare-up due to our pre-season training. It wasn't sort of used to it. This brought out some issues from fans on Twitter. It's one of those things, though, that there are questions to be asked, but at the same time, it's only a couple of players, and it's pre-season is meant to be hard, and we seem unlucky with injuries at the minute. Is where I'm sort of at with it. I assume you're more in support of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just farcical, really, isn't it? Players get injured. That's a fact of life. Because two players have got a similar injury, we don't have to start sacking manager, physio, and all coaches. Relay training ground and completely change training regime. It happens, and I don't know. People just seem to want to jump on a bandwagon, whatever it is, and moan about something. If we're not moaning about injuries, we're moaning about transfers. If we're not moaning about transfers, we're moaning about pies. We're not look. People get injured, don't they? It's a fact. Yeah, all right. Maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe it's not a coincidence that they both got similar injuries. Maybe it's something to do with some of the training sessions that have been put on. But maybe I'll go on Ben's side and say it's a lack of preparation by players. It's not necessarily anything to do with the training methods that were put in place, but it's a bandwagon for people to jump on, isn't it? I don't know. It's just I find it quite depressing. This sort of constant digging at the club and at the staff and at the players and at the management, and it's just bizarre. Listen, they're injured.
Yeah,
they'll get better.
Yeah, I saw some people on Twitter suggesting we shouldn't be playing pre-season friendlies with a squad this small because it might create more injuries.
Stupidest thing I genuinely think I've ever heard. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Let's just not play a season.
I was going to be a bit more diplomatic about it, Ben, but yeah, basically.
But it is. I don't know for on Twitter. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Let's just cancel the season and play Football Manager and see who wins that league. Stupid point.
Yeah, you've got to play pre-season. You've got to play pre-season friendlies. Even if you've got 11 fit players, you're still going to play pre-season friendlies. These players need game time. Was what I was going to say, Ben. So thank you.
I thought that was
so diplomatic, Matt.
I thought it was self-explanatory.
Yeah, you love the conspiracy, Ben. What are your thoughts on these injuries of same areas? Is it just one of those things? These things do happen because it's to happen.
It's a muscle injury, so my guess is something to do with the training regime. But at least it's not his knee. You know what I'm saying? At least it's not two people out with ACL or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's impossible to say because I'm not in that training ground 5 days a week. I'm not at the pre-season friendlies. Do you know what I mean? I'm not involved in the training regime. So it really is impossible. And everyone, you know what I'm saying, likes to become a sports psychologist and football manager on Twitter when they have no idea. But it's something to do in it. I get it. People get bored and think that Mourinho and Sir Alex sometimes, which is fair. I mean, what the club should do, right, is have a suggestions box and listen to everybody on Twitter, and then we might actually get promoted and do to everybody. Yeah.
We'd win Champions League if we did that.
Yeah, exactly.
I can just picture the club putting a video out, and it's Paul Warren just going through the suggestions box, just going, that's stupid, and he finds one gem, and we win the league by doing that one suggestion. Oh dear.
God.
Pre-season's over. I think it's been pretty productive pre-season. As productive pre-seasons can be, obviously injuries aren't ideal, but every club gets injuries. That's just part of pre-season. Never mind
part of life
itself. Part of life. The season starts on Saturday, Danny. The transfer window is obviously still open up until the 31st of August. So, in terms of timings, there's still plenty of time to get transfers in. But the injuries have caused. The injuries sort of feel like they've caused more of a panic with transfers than was an issue in the first place. I'm just looking at our squad list now. We've got about 12 fit. If Victor and Icky are out, we've got about 12 fit first team players, which looks really, really bad.
It's one more than enough, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, technically, we've got 4 players over the limit in football because you can still turn out with 8 players. So
true. Yeah. Every morning that.
But yeah, I can understand why fans are panicking a little bit to do with transfers, but the way they've been going about it on Twitter, it's just a bit. Every time we go, UFC hashtag, it's just people moaning all the time. We're getting a bit nervous now. We haven't signed anybody, and this, that, and other. And it's like, lads, patience. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Like I say, we've got until August 31st to sign players, and I'm sort of I'm going to get my conspiracy theory hat on. I'm sort of looking at what Paul Warne's planning. And by the looks of it, before the season, we're getting in all the players that are either free or are commanding fees from their club. Start the season, and then improve where we need to with loans, potentially. Because, like they've said on Twitter, potentially 4 in next week, all fees. And then Warney said in the interview after the Middlesbrough game, there's still a chance of a of a midfielder from a Premier League team on loan. But that's going to be way down the line because of, they want to have a look at him. Their season starts later than ours. Their main players are coming back from a host of different international competitions. So with that, it's just a waiting game. But we've probably got 4 coming in next week, and that's the exciting bit. 4 new signings in a week. That's enough to keep you glued to your phone throughout the week, isn't it? Notifications on for Rotherham Twitter, all the works for that one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like Danny says, Lewis, couple of signings, literally two signings, and everybody's mood just lifts. Adolphus looks to be confirmed. Fullback, left side fullback, we think is something coming from Arsenal. So we talk about ticking boxes, Lewis. They tick the boxes we need. They need a defensive midfielder, left-sided player. It's getting those players in the right area. If this patience that Warney's got, hopefully will pay off.
Yeah, the last thing I'd want him to do is think, we've got a couple of injuries, let's go and get some. Obviously, Warren's all about wanting the right character. Like I say, the last thing I want him to do is just panic and think, we need some players in immediately, and just get the wrong ones in. I'm sure these 4 players, fingers crossed, we're getting this week. I'm sure that he's been targeting.
We're having some classic technical issues this week, so apologies.
Did anyone hear me then?
Might be me, I'm sorry.
No, Mickey's not helping, of course.
I apologise, I'm sorry.
We got it. We got most of it, I think, though, Lewis. I think we got what you're saying.
You got the gist of it anyway.
Yeah.
So was mate.
Mick.
That's right.
You love having a go. You are one of the most patient fans we've got. I think if we didn't sign anybody before the start of the season, I think you'd still be quite happy with the situation. But from a signings point of view, we're getting the right players in. By the seams, it seems we're getting the right players in. Are you excited for what's hopefully will be 4 signs, potentially more signs this week? 4 signs of the game, hopefully more this week.
Yeah, I am absolutely. I keep looking at your face that you can't hear what I'm saying.
No, we can. There was just a delay. It's fine.
We've got
okay.
And we've got back from Arsenal.
Yes.
Yeah, apparently.
He was at Rochdale last season on loan for 7 or 8, not many games, 7 or 8 games, something like that.
Yeah, the rumour is it's Tolaji Bola. He was in their under 23 setup at the minute, but they're willing to release him if they get a little bit of money for it.
Yeah, and then we've got the trialists who were in the other day as well. Fossey from Fulham and Matt Daly still from Huddersfield. So they're still signings that we could bring in as well. I don't know if they're part of the 4 or part of the other ones, but they're good little signings. that we seem to bring in, so I'm quite happy. Assuming everything goes through and Ipswich start swooping and offering all the money everywhere, then everything's looking well. But you have got 3 teams, particularly 3 big teams, Ipswich, Wigan and Wednesday, are all pumping massive money in. You look at, we've talked about Lewis Wing the other day, these clubs are pumping money in which we cannot compete with financially.
Why would you want to? Why would you want a player that demands more than 10 grand a week when he's playing in League One? You're playing in League One for a reason. You don't deserve more than 10 grand a week. If you deserve more than 10 grand a week, you'd be getting more than 10 grand a week at a good club, not Wednesday or Ipswich, who are just going to give you what you want because you've got an attitude problem.
You've got to bear in mind it's a loan deal. So his contract is a loan deal.
No, I'm not on about Wing. I'm not on about Wing specifically. Okay. I'm just on about these people in general. And then they come in with bad attitudes and ruin the club. Which is why they're still down there. I'm definitely not talking about Wing. It seems like I am. But why Ipswich is still down there for a reason. Sunderland are still down there for a reason. Wigan nearly got relegated last season for a reason. So...
yeah, I know what you're saying, mate. So, anything else? Before we move on to our predictions, is there anything else anyone wants to mention about transfers or just pre-season, John? Any points anyone wants to mention or bring up?
The other 2 signings that are potentially coming in this week are going to be a right back and a midfielder.
Okay.
Yeah, so the play Odoffin's up basically confirmed, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know, we're getting the reports up from Scotland. All their newspapers are talking about it. Paul Davis said in the Advertiser it's him. The mysterious left back, which might be Boller. I'm not entirely sure. It might be a bit of a surprise. Then the right back and the midfielder. Now, if the right back is commanding a fee, your mind automatically goes to Sean Rooney from St Johnstone, because if the right back was on loan, then you'd think it was Marlon Fossey. And then the midfielder commanding a fee, no idea who that could be. No idea. I've seen Jamie Allen thrown around as well, but
he's been linked for a while, hasn't he?
Yeah, is he out of contract at Coventry now, or is he still there?
I think he's still in contract. Yeah,
might be him then. Might be him. Not sure. Not sure. And then, like I say, the trialists might get deals as well, but we'll see how they develop a bit more.
Yes, hopefully it gets moving. So, as I mentioned at the start of the show, I spoke to Paul Davis earlier today, so we're going to play this. I clicked this earlier, and then on the other side of this, we will come back and we'll do our pre-season predictions.
It's a pleasure to be on, mate. I've been hoping to do it for a while, so it's nice to finally be here.
Absolutely. So, start with the obvious. We're now recording on Sunday night, week before the season starts. All pre-season actions done. In general, how do you think pre-season's gone for Rotherham? Do you think it's gone smoothly? Bumps in the road. How do you feel that pre-season's gone?
I don't know. I'd say smoothly. I think lack of transfer activity early doors meant it wasn't so smooth. I think in terms of physical build-up, that's been okay. Until Icky got injured last week, there'd been nothing too serious on that front. You know, Warney'd put his usual beasting on the players in Budapest and at Roundwood. So the progression there's been really good. It was an all right pre-season. I think there was a hangover from the relegation from the Championship. I think the players came back in with the best will in the world. I think, you know, you try and get over things, but if something's hurt you really badly, and the manner of the relegation coming 6 minutes from the end of the game at Cardiff when it looked like they might stay up, that's a difficult thing to get over. I think being together and, Warney's influence, Son on the backs at Roundwood has helped, but I think it took a while for things to get going. And I think last week and the 2 friendlies against higher class opposition than what they had played was really important. I think how they responded to that challenge was going to play a big part in how they went into the season, and they rose to it. Against Newcastle, they put on the best display pre-season. I mean, they were spelling first half. This is a crazy thing to say. Newcastle couldn't get the ball off them, for 15 minutes or so. It was fantastic, and it was a good performance right through the game. Dropped off a bit in the second half, as pre-season games always do, because there's 1,000 substitutes from either side.
which is a reporter's a nightmare to try and keep track of. And trying to watch the game, head in your laptop, And then Middlesbrough, I mean, that was dodgy first 20 minutes. Middlesbrough looked really good, but it showed some character to weather that and come back. In second half, it were fairly even Stevens. So, and I think that, particularly the Newcastle game, that you suddenly saw the Rotherham of, when they trying hard in the Championship, when they're doing well in League One. So I'm more encouraged now than I was, than I was a week ago.
Yeah, particularly Newcastle in the midfield three of Barlays, Lindsay and Wiles. They would play pretty well in Championship, but in League One, that's a really, really strong three. If we choose to go 3-5-2, that's a really, really strong midfield three we've got set up there before.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, it'd be even stronger if you had 4 to choose from. I still had Crooksy. I'd like to see him say, well, that was never going to happen. Yeah, I mean, no one's going to pass better than Dan in League One. No one's going to outbattle Jamie Lindsay or run harder than he does. And I think it's a big year for Wilesy. I mean, I'm a Wilesy fan. I know he cops for a bit of stick at times, but I think he does a lot of good things. He does some poor things as well. I think he still sometimes makes mistakes he was making 2 years ago, and he should have got those out of his game by now. But I think he's, in terms of his all-round game, he's the most talented player Rotherham have got. If you ask any of the players who's got the most ability at Rotherham, the Rotherham players will all say Wilesy. And when he's on, and really going at opponents, I think he's a real asset. I think this is his year where he stops being a young lad with a lot of potential to an established first teamer who's been there for a couple of years and now really starts to show what he can do. So yeah, I think we're quite strong in midfield. And don't forget, we've got another one coming in hopefully this week in Akeem Odefin, more of a defensive-minded player, which we perhaps need. And I know the club are looking for a more attacking option as well. That's a fair way down the line. You learn not to talk about it too much until it happens. But I know who that player is, and if it does happen, I'm a follower of the club as well as some of the reports on them, and I'd be excited to see him come in.
Yeah. On transfers, as a fan, it's a very frustrating time. We talked about this a lot on the podcast. It's a very strange transfer. And forget about Rotherham United for a minute. This transfer window has been one of the strangest there's been in a long time. COVID's not helped. Euros has delayed everything. We talked about this before we started recording. This has not been ideal for somebody like Paul Warner, who likes to get players in early, likes to get them in the boot camp, went to Hungary, likes workmanship and things like that. But it's not for one to try, is it? The club have tried really hard. It's just a frustrating transfer.
No, yeah, just because players aren't coming in doesn't mean there's not an awful lot going on behind the scenes. The Euros, I don't think that stopped Rotherham particularly making permanent signings. What it does do, though, is like you get a bit of quality from loan signings from the top flight, young lads, and some of the Premier League clubs, all the Premier League clubs really have not really got the players back from the Euros, and there's also the CONCACAF Cup being going on as well. And they wait till they get their squad back and see where they are before they start letting the kids out, So I think, Rotherham got the eye on one of those players, but I think it will be a couple of weeks into the season before that may materialise. In terms of other recruitment, Warney said that he thought that because of COVID and clubs tightening the belts and having smaller squads, there'd be more players available, and maybe there is, but there's not been as much movement. That surprised him. I can see where he's coming from, because I thought there'd been more minor business done, if you can describe it that way. But League One there's a lot of money in League One this year. 2 or 3 clubs spending really, really big, and Rotherham have got the basis of a really good League One squad anyway. So the players they're going for to improve them are kind of the best players in League One, or those coming down from the Championship, or those in League Two can really make the step up. They've got to be good players to be better than what Rotherham have already got. Now, of course, they're the good players. Other clubs want those good players, and some of those other clubs, the Wiggins of this world, the Ipswich Towns, they can one offer more in transfer fees to tempt the club, and they can certainly offer way more than Rotherham can in wages. And player likes to earn money like we all do, and I'm glad Rotherham is such a financially well-run club. I like the fact that I know Rotherham will be there next year and financially solvent no matter what happens, so I don't want to chase the dream and overspend, but I can see the frustration where you're going for players and you see things in the press, or I might write those things, and you hope to get that player, then they go somewhere else. It's welcome to any transfer window, really, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. The one so far confirmed signing, senior signing, Shane Ferguson. When he came in, I was impressed with that. I thought he was a really good, solid Championship player. I do think he's settled in so far and done so far in pre-season.
Yeah, I interviewed after
Minor injury.
I interviewed after his Rochdale debut. No, nice kid. Not that that's really important in football terms, but maybe no, it is, I suppose, in terms of the well-being of the club. Yeah, he doesn't look like a footballer. Got little chubby legs, and his kit doesn't seem to fit. And then he gets the ball. You can immediately see the quality: quick feet, instant control, looking to do the right thing. He's got good grounding, like Premier League, Newcastle. A lot of Championship seasons with Millwall. Went up in League One with Millwall. They've got nearly 50 Northern Ireland caps, and still playing for Northern Ireland. Left-sided player, and we've needed some strength on the left for a while. He can fill in at full-back. I don't think Warney sees him as playing as full-back. He'll play further forward. I don't know if he'll start every game, because I think Rotherham were impressed with Mikel Miller in pre-season. So as things stand, I could see Mikel starting on the left wing. But, the Warney way is like tells his wingers, like, give everything for an hour. As soon as you start blowing, we'll get you off. So, and it'll be horses, of course, for different games as well. So I can see him about. I don't think he'll start 46 games, but I think he's got a major part to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully so. So how do we think we're going to go this season? I'm not going to ask for, nail down a position where we think we're going to finish, but where's Rotherham's fight this year? Is it top 2, playoffs, mid-table? Where do you see it? Early days, I know, but
yeah. Well, one, I hope there's a bit of patience, because historically we don't start badly, but we don't always start brilliantly. So I hope after now we've not won first four on the top. I hope there's not a backlash against that. Warney's got history of taking Rotherham out of League One. He's done it twice. At the time before that, Steve Evans took us up. So historically, I keep using that word, Rotherham go up from League One. But it can't happen all the time. That cycle has to be broken at some stage. And I think you're looking at, I'm in my 7th or 8th year now covering Rotherham. So this is the strongest League One on paper that I've encountered. I think there's a basis of a really strong side there. It's needed numbers. As we're talking now, there's only one in, but it looks like there'll be a flurry of activity before the season starts. Now, those newcomers have got to have time to bed in, and you don't know how successful they're going to be. You sign players with the best intentions, but they don't all work out. The recruitment's very, very careful. I think some of them will, but you don't know. So I just hope there's a degree of realism. I find at the start of the season, it's a great time to start the season that you're always going to finish top. I think where we are at the moment, that if you talk, 10th place would be fairly solid, and the playoff position would be a really, really good season. As a fan, I'm going to lean towards playoffs because, like I say, hope at the start of the season.
Fantastic. Really appreciate this, Paul. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure, mate. I hope you come back to me end of the season, mate. I'm laughing at me because we were top 2 and I never predicted it.
So, there we go. And thank you, Paul Davis, for doing that. We really do appreciate him doing that. So, we're now going to crack on with our pre-season predictions so we can come back in May and laugh at how badly we got them all.
Didn't you get quite close last year?
Yeah, I was closest, I think, last year.
Yeah.
I think I predicted 6th bottom.
I think me and Matt just misheard you, didn't we?
Yeah, I must have done.
Yeah.
Mick set the bar at a playoff place in the Championship as the level of predictions we're kind of looking for. So, okay.
Come on then.
So we're going to go through. We've got 5 categories. We're going to go through our finished positions, top scorer, most assists, who we think is going to be player of the season, and who we think is going to be the breakout player. These are all very difficult because we've got quite a small selection to choose from at the minute, and could have 7 or 8 more players to pick from. But that's how pre-season prediction works. So, Lewis, I'm going to start with you, mate, for the first one. Finished position. Where do you think we're going to finish the season, and why?
I've gone for 5th in playoffs. I think this league this year is far stronger than what it was when we were in it last year. A lot of money's been thrown about. When you look at the moment, I look at Lincoln and Ipswich being the best contenders to go up, I think, on paper anyway, when you look at the squad and managers they've got. But you've got to look, they're easy like 10, 12 teams that you could make an argument to go up. But when you look at our squad, we've only lost Crooks from last year. Then we performed pretty well in Championship. We were just come unstuck with numerous injuries and COVID, obviously. And I think we'll fare pretty well, to be fair. I think we just need to add a few bodies in, which we'll do this week. And I think we'll be pretty well set.
Fair enough. Ben, I would like coming to you because you're going to tell me we're going to finish fourth, then you're going to say first, then you're going to say seventh.
I said fourth. Because it's so impossible, because we could go first game of the season and the replacement, or we don't bring a replacement keeper in. Johansson, some miraculously, let's say we bring a replacement keeper in, right? Tears his PCL, MCL, ACL, whatever the case may be. Smithy gets injured. Icky gets injured again. Woody gets injured. It's so many variables in sport. It's impossible. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? So I'm going to go fourth. Just basically it's a thing out of a hat, to be honest. Like,
well, yeah.
There's no, you can't put any logical evidence because there's so many variables. But fourth.
Okay, we just throw a spanner in the works. What we're trying to do, Ben. Cheers, all right.
I'm trying. It's really hard because yeah, whatever. Four.
I'm going to go next. I'm going to say eighth. I've just not. As we sit now, this is what it's going to be. I've got my negative head on at the minute. I don't know why. I've just got my negative head on. It's a tough league. We've all said it. It's the toughest league one in a long time. I think everybody else had a better transfer window so far. So I think, yeah, it's going to be.
It doesn't mean anything. Though. It doesn't mean anything.
Of course it does.
It doesn't mean anything. If it's still crap, Wednesday's still crap. Sunderland is still crap. We're not. We weren't crap last year. We got done over by COVID, done over by the EFL, done over by some unfortunate decisions. We did. Look, we just did. I don't think transfer window has anything to do with it because you say they have a good transfer window. But let's say Ipswich go and all their players get injured, or all their players play crap, or all their players turn out to be bad apples and send their club spiraling down. You can't say that. There's no criteria for a good transfer market because no one knows what a good player is because everyone's got a different opinion. Because everyone goes on Twitter with a football manager head on and then evaluates everyone.
Yeah, but I think it's fair to say, let's use him as an example. Lewis Wing's a fantastic signing for League One. That makes Wednesday a good signing. There's others. I'm just using that as an example because we know that player. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying I know we all know a few Ipswich players that they've signed a lot of, on paper some really good signs. That's why I'm saying they've had a good transfer window. It may not turn out that way, but it looks like a really good transfer. It looks like a good transfer window. Is that
let me propose this to you then. Wing starts playing really well. Wait, let me propose this. Wing starts playing really well. Barry Bannon gets face on, and that club has a massive argument. That's not a good signing.
Yeah, I know.
You might have a point there, Ben. Actually, because Barry Bannon's like Mr. Sheffield Wednesday, isn't he?
Yeah.
So if Wing takes up his position because he's been performing really well, and like you say, he gets face on, it might cause a bit of conflict because Barry Bannon might go, "Oh, well, I want a transfer in January then if I'm not starting," because Barry Bannon's probably on the most money, if not a really high wage at Wednesday. And if Lewis Wing comes in and upsets the apple cart, then you never know. I mean, I had a chat with my Chef Wednesday mate about how they performed against Huddersfield today in the Cup, and he said Lewis Wing played really well, but Barry Bannon played better. I mean, even though they drew 0-0 and lost on penalties, Barry Bannon played better, so that's a headache for Darren Moore. But I mean, you might have a point about if he gets face on, and like we say, we don't really know what is a good transfer window until like in March or April time when you start really seeing where everyone will finish. It's gonna be a difficult year, and I saw mixed reaction to the decisions idea. Do you want to jump in on that one?
I was struggling for thing. I didn't really mean it. I was just struggling for points in my argument. So I just threw it in.
Fair enough. talking nonsense, Ben. Danny, sticking with you, mate. Where's your prediction we'll finish?
Right, before I say mine, I promise I haven't just written it down for when Paul Davis said it. I promise. I wrote it down yesterday. I have it on my bit of paper. I wrote it down yesterday. I said top 10 hopeful with what we've got at the minute, but upwards of 6th if we make the right additions, I said.
Okay.
So if we make some good signings, 6 upwards, but as we are at the minute, I reckon top 10 easily.
I'll put you down for 6th then.
Yeah.
Michael,
plus, 6 plus.
6 plus, that's
yeah.
Mick, you're Mr. Optimist, so I assume you think we're going to win the league.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
My internet connection is not very good.
Podcast is. Sorry, go
on. My internet connection is obviously really, really poor. So I'm only catching bits and pieces of this, and I heard Ben say something about unfortunate decisions, and he used the word unfortunate, and it just made me laugh, and I had to mute my mic because I was laughing so much at the use of the word unfortunate. I just have a look at what that means, Ben, because it doesn't mean what you meant.
Well,
listen, mate, we can make predictions all day long. No, you didn't know. I know what you meant, but none of them were unfortunate. They were all garbage decisions, weren't they? But anyway, let's go. Let's get off.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about Gavin Ward. There's no point. It's just not worth it.
There's your one for the episode, guys.
Mate, listen. My prediction is champions. We're good enough. Listen, we are good enough. People might have been out spending money, like it's going out of fashion. But they've still got to get a team together.
What?
Get man with no arms. Yeah.
What?
They've still got to gel as a team, and they've got to perform well. Google it.
If you didn't listen to the last episode, that was the analogy Mick used last time. And Mike Lewis, I still don't get it either. So I've asked several people about it, Mick, and they don't get it either.
I reckon we need to start a podcast bingo, and you just keep, and if someone crosses them off. Yeah. You've got line of duty bingo. Let's do a rob me out of podcast bingo.
Yeah. So Mick's gone first. I did see. I can't remember the podcast. It's one of the Football League podcasts. They put us down as winning the league as well. So you're not on your own there, Mick. I would love it to happen. Let's see. This one I think will be easy. If we don't all go for the same one, it'll be similar. Top scorer. Mick, you finish that one, so we'll start with you. Who is going to be finished our top scorer?
Smithy is the obvious choice in it, and I can't really see past him, to be honest with you. If Freddie manages to perform to the level he performed in that first half against Newcastle, then he might give Smithy a run, because he was well on it, very aggressive, and he really performed well. So I'm going to go for Smithy. I don't think I can see past him as top scorer this season.
Big shout! Well, I thought you were going Freddie. Lewis, where are you going?
Oh, I'm going for Freddie. If you look at 2 seasons ago, he got 14 from 30 in the curtailed season. So going off that, if he stays fit, we're looking 20 plus goals a season. He's a proven League One goal scorer. He's our best goal scorer at club quite comfortably, I think. So yeah, I think he'll be Freddie.
Yeah, and the season before that in League One as well with Plymouth, got 20 plus, which I think it's 20 or just over 20. So he's great at this level. Danny,
I've gone for the reverse of Mick. I'd say Ladipo will definitely be up there, like Lewis says, he's a proven League One goal scorer, but Smithy will give him a run for his money because of the way Smith's performed in pre-season, especially against Newcastle. You can tell that those two play better together as the front two, because you've got the Freddie as the quick one with good feet, Smith as the big lumpy two bloke who gets his head on it. So I think those two will be quite dangerous in League One, but I reckon Freddie might just edge it by the end of the season.
I think it's a bit of a classic big man, little man to front two. Smithy is better than a classic front man, and Smith Freddie is better than a classic little man. But I think they can fill those roles as well. I'm going to go in there and say Freddie. Like you both said, he was a proven goal scorer at this level. I'm sure in the Championship scored, but the minutes he played, it's got a reasonable amount of goals. Ben, I'm interested to see where you go with this one.
I'm going to go Freddie. That doesn't mean I think he's going to play well. I think he's going to score the most goals, but I don't think he's going to play the best. I don't think he'll be the best striker at the club. I think he'll be getting most goals, but I don't think he's going to be the best striker. I just want to make that clear.
You're one of these people. Do you know when you see people on Twitter going when Smithy was not scoring goals?
Don't compare him to
someone. People go on Twitter. Yeah, but he's a striker. That's his job. So you're saying is when a striker doesn't have to score goals to do his job is the point you're making, I assume.
Well, it depends what type of offense you're in. You know what I mean? Depends what type of offense you're in. Yeah. If he can score 20 goals and still be a crap striker, he could just bogline. You know what I mean? He could just score 20 tap-ins. It don't mean I'm going to think he's going to play well. When I say play well, to me, when I say play well is the way I see the game. I don't see the game of basketball where you've got big man, little man. I don't see the game. It's not basketball. I don't see the game that way. You know what I mean? Long ball, big man, little man scores. That's not the way football is played. Should be played. So I don't like people who just score goals and do nothing else. And you can say, oh, you liked Alfie. Alfie didn't just score goals. Alfie was 10 times better than Freddie. Freddie doesn't look like a footballer. It baffled me out. He doesn't look like he got good control of the ball. Like, I don't want to rip into him because I think he played well last year, but like, I don't feel like he's a footballer for some reason. But yeah.
He's unorthodox.
Yeah.
He's very unorthodox.
That's the word.
Yeah, I get where Ben's coming from because sometimes with Freddie, he just doesn't look bothered at all. But then you'll have games like against Newcastle where he's everywhere up front. He's in that final third just everywhere. But yeah, I can see where Ben's coming from with that one.
Thank you. At least someone does. I mean,
your response was a little bit unorthodox, but I understood it.
Yeah, it does that. This one's going to be more interesting. Most assists. It's difficult. We've got lots of players to pick from. In midfield, 3 and in a wide men. Mick, where are you going for this for top assists? Because it could be anybody, literally anybody.
It's a tough one, isn't it? That it's a tough one. I'm probably going to go Dan Barlaser, I think. He looks like we know what he's capable of. And he's not really shown it the last couple of seasons, but we know that he can do it. Oh, sorry, the last season. I'm probably going to go with him, although I'm liking the look of Mikael Miller as well at the moment. And Chio, it's one of the permanent one from the second one of those three, but I'm going to go with Barlaser.
Okay, that's fair enough. Danny, where you? Because Mick's mentioned all the players. It could literally anyone. Or Freddie or Smith could get in with a trick as well. Yeah,
I mean, the main two I thought about really was Ogbeni and Ferguson. Because Ogbeni is getting a really good relationship down the right-hand sides with distributing out from Wes Harding. So that could play the classic tactic of Harding, Ogbeni, runs down the wing, into the box, goal. That could happen quite a lot in League One because Chio's pace will catch out a lot of people. But then you've got Ferguson and his set-piece delivery he's getting up towards Barlaser, and we know what Barlaser's set pieces were like in League One a couple of seasons ago. They were up there as one of the best, but with Ferguson, he's got that as well, and he might slightly edge it on corners. So it's between Ogbeni and Ferguson. So I'm going to say Ogbeni because of how you can see that classic break down the right hand side with Ogbene, and if he gets that good ball into the mixer, it will more or less be a goal like 80-90% of the time. So I'll go Ogbene.
Fair enough. Lewis?
I was torn between Barlaser and Ogbene, but I've just about gone for Ogbene. I think he'll, after last season, with him being frustrated being out for so long, I think he'll come in jumping at a bit to perform this season. I think he got 3 assists in League One last time. I think he'll be looking more towards 10 this time with hopefully Freddie and Matt Smithy firing all cylinders in box.
Keeping him fit's key, innit? The 2 seasons he's been with us, they've both been disrupted with injuries. Last season, obviously, massive, but the first season he came in, got injured for a few months, and we missed a lot of his time. So it's key for him keeping him fit, basically.
Yeah, if he can keep fit, it will be a massive play for us, no doubt about it, with what we've seen him in League One and in parts in Championship last season. Just keep him fit.
Absolutely. Ben?
Probably Mikel Miller. It sounds bad, I don't see Ogbene lasting a full year with his knee history. Fact, he's got weak knees. Like that, I don't mean to be harsh. It's not harsh. He's got weak knees. Now, I'm not saying like, you keep saying it. No, obviously that was coming. He's got naturally weak knees. Tearing the MCL, I don't know what he did.
I mean, he's had one knee injury.
No, because didn't he do his knee, came back and then did it again? He did it in the first season, didn't he?
The first season was hamstring.
Oh, Jesus Christ. But anyway, he's tore his MCL. Well, something to his MCL. I don't see him keeping fit. I just don't. I hate to say that, but it's sport, innit? Anything can happen. And it's basically a non-contact sport now, but that's another conversation. But I'll go make
that's another one off on the bingo card.
It's 2 as well, because he started fidgeting as he started saying it, so that's definitely another one as well.
Nah, it really gets under my skin, man. It just really gets under my skin because it just really gets under my skin.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. I'm going to Wilesy. I fancy Wilesy to have a big season this year. If he plays, the key to that is playing in that central role. If we keep firing out to a different position, I think that's going to have a big impact. But I think this year we'll see Wilesy in his favourite position a lot more, hopefully. And if we do, we know how good he can be. He's fantastic on ball. So he's my pick for most assists. Now we're going to move on to who we think will end up being the player of the season. And again, this is just shot in the dark. Lewis, start with you, mate. Who do you think will be the standout player?
I've gone for Barlaser. I know last season it were for his standards compared to his first season in League One. It weren't consistent enough for me. He had a couple of games, they were outstanding a couple of games, but he just didn't do it on a regular basis. Maybe it might have been a year too soon for him. But if you look at his season he had for us in League One and for, I think it was Atkinson the year before, they were outstanding in both seasons. And he's just absolute quality operator in League One. I can see him having a massive impact for us this year in a creative sense and just driving us forward with assists and his passing. I think he'll have a top season.
Yeah, that's a fair shout. Ben, I'll come back to you quickly on this one. Go on. Who do you think? Again, I know it's difficult, but who do you think is the player of the season?
Smith.
Okay.
That's it. The Smith. I mean, the improvements he's made over the past few years to keep himself healthy. I don't think he's had a major injury, or even a minor injury. To be honest, I can remember. To keep yourself fit for that long and improve that much is a real achievement. I don't think people acknowledge how much of an achievement that is to stay fit that long and improve that much.
Yeah, I think so. He has improved massively since he first came in.
Well, sat on bench at bottom of League One. I mean, like you can't really get any worse apart from playing in League Two, and no one wants that. So
Fair enough.
No
Harsh,
offense,
but go on.
Chloe. No offense.
No, they don't exist anymore, mate. Don't worry.
They don't
about it.
exist. I mean, whatever the new is, Chloe, town, whatever it's called. Good boys.
Mick, who do you think is going to be player of the season?
I'm going to go for popular vote. I'm going to try and win a few fans back. I'm going to go for Victor. I mean, everybody loves him. What?
I missed that first 3-4 games.
So it's a 46-game season.
Well, I'm not bothered. Yeah. Hey, listen. He's an absolute star. He's a Victor. End of.
You're still mine because I'm going to go Victor as well. Assuming he gets fit, which I'm sure he will. Danny?
Before I say mine, can I just say Mick sounded exactly like Catherine Tate when he said, "Am I bothered?" It sounded just like. But yeah, I'm going to go for Victor with mine as well. I think he'll be one of the best keepers in League One this season. I mean, even if he does miss the first 3 or 4 games, he'll just come straight back in and do a job. But I think the reason why they're staying a bit quiet on his injury is because it's his first major injury in football. And he could have just tweaked his quad like Ferguson has, because he hasn't done a full Rotherham pre-season, as far as I'm aware, because he didn't do the full. What's it called when they do it in the SAS? The sickener. There's full sickener pre-season with us. So that might be down to it, but if it's more serious, we'll have to, like I said earlier in the podcast, bring somebody in to cover. But I think it's going to be Victor. I think purely because he's just got that keeper ability that he'll outclass a lot of keepers in League One, and also he's a fan favourite in it. So we're going to vote for him regardless at the end of the season.
Exactly. And the final category we're going to go is breakout player. Now, this can be a player who we've had in the past and has not been amazing on steps up a level. This can be a kid who comes through and bursts onto the scene. This could be basically anything you want it to be. Mick, who do you think is going to be the breakout player for Rotherham United this year?
I'd like it to be Josh Coyote. I would love it to be JJ, because I just think, he's a local lad. He's come up through ranks, and he definitely looks, from the little I've seen of him, as he's got a lot of potential. But I'm not entirely sure whether he's going to get a very good running team. It depends on how Freddie plays. So I'm going to go for Mikel Miller. I just feel that Mikel Miller is a really, really good player. He didn't get a chance last season for whatever reason, the change in formation and everything else. So yeah, for me, Mikel Miller, I think he's going to be the surprise package of this season for us.
Fair enough. Lewis, who feels going to be the breakout star?
I think, well, Mick said it there. I'm going for Josh Coyote. I think he'll start the season after the choice, depending through the season how Smith and Freddie do. He'll be right there getting in, because his loan spells at Gateshead and Carlisle clearly been making of him. He's grown, he's matured a lot physically, as you can see. He's a strong lad, good in air, fast. He's going to score a goal as well. So I think he's going to be a great player for us. I hope he gets a chance to have a good few games this year. And I'm sure he'll impress.
Yeah, good shout. Danny?
I've got Coyote written down, because I think if he's going to make it, it'll be this season. Because like I said, he's been on loan a few times. He impressed at Carlisle last season. So I think if he's going to break out into the Rotherham squad, which he says he wants to do because Rotherham's his team, it'll be this season. I think he'll be a good backup striker to probably Freddie more than Smith. But if it's not make or break this season, but I think if he will just suddenly announce himself into football, it will be this season. So I'm going to go Coyote.
I like it. I'm going to steal Mix and go Mikel Miller. Everything I've seen from him is that he's going to be a good player. We just need to see it. And if he's got good, decent players around him, parlays who can pick ball out to him, for example, that's going to put him in a good position. I think that suits him, the way we set up in the midfield. Ben, who do you think is going to be the breakout star?
I'm going to say Woody, because everybody keeps sleeping on him year after year after year. He's the most... I want to change my best player to Woody as well.
I don't think Woody... I mean, you can select Woody as a breakout player, but you can't really.
Because everybody underestimates how important he is to the team. And he's the sole heartbeat of the team, year in, year out. I don't think... People underestimate how important that leader role of a team is. Matt's gone. People really do. I know. So I think Woody. I can call Woody a breakout player because I love him that much. So I don't see why I can't. Personally,
Is it possible to have a 36-year-old breakout player?
Well, it is because everybody sleeps on him. Everybody, right, sleeps on him year after year. Yeah, Woody's playing he's playing his 57th season in football, but he keeps us. He keeps us afloat. Like, we wouldn't have been anywhere near the situation we got last year. We'd have been down by March, February if we didn't have Woody. The experience he brings to the team, and anyone who's been in won success at any sport level will tell you that leader is needed. And Woody is that player.
Yes.
So I'm counting it. Because people underestimate it. So I'm counting a breakout player. Because nobody thinks he's going to be that.
For the reasons you've given, he can't break out because we all already agree with you.
Well, breakout player then. What would we define as a breakout?
Someone who just suddenly improves and has a really stellar season. That's what I'd gone. Yeah. That's what I say.
Yes, it could be Wilesy moving on to a next level. It could be Cody coming like these have gone for. It could be Miller becoming a Rotherham player. I suppose you could put Johansson.
It's hard to watch any pre-season games. Wiles.
Okay. Fair enough. I think it's an important season for Wiles. If he has a really good season, I think he'll go on to a fantastic career. If he gets lost in the rest of the team, then he may end up becoming one of those players who just get lost within the team. I think it's a really, really important season for Ben Wiles. So it's interesting to see. So that's our pre-season predictions. They are saved. So like I said, when it comes to May time, end of May when we've won the league, we can all have a laugh. At that.
I think if we win the league, like Mick says we're going to do, we all have to buy him a pint.
That's fair enough.
At least one pint.
Yeah, I agree to that.
You can buy him a pint of Coke, man.
Yeah. So there we go. So that's our pre-season action completed. We will be back on Friday morning for our first pre-season episode of the season as we get Plymouth Argyle. We are planning on doing a live show on Thursday night if we can get a Plymouth fan to come on with us so we can learn about Plymouth, to talk about their pre-season, what to expect from them. That will be really good. We need to try and find a Plymouth fan first. So we'll get on that and let you know through the socials if that goes through. In the meantime, go to newyorktalk.co.uk. You'll find plenty of stuff on there. To look back at some match reviews for pre-season, or some articles Lewis has done about Victor Hansen and other stuff from last season. If you find a goal over last season, you can look at some of the stuff that were up there from then. So I hope you subscribe to YouTube, iTunes, wherever you are as well. That'd be lovely, so you get the episodes out as and when they're ready. Lewis, thank you very much, mate, for joining us tonight. It's been a pleasure as always, mate.
No worries at all. See what my predictions do.
I'm sure we'll all be terrible.
I know. I'm fully prepared for it.
Danny, thank you very much, mate.
No worries, always a pleasure.
Benjamin, it's I always like having you up, show, mate. So it's never boring. Let's put it that way.
Thank you.
And Mick, will you be joining us from a car park of Friday's episode, or will you find somewhere with a more stable Wi-Fi on there?
Yeah, I just need to be a bit careful. I'm just looking into the corner of this car park. There's a car park with people stood around it looking inside it. I don't know what they're doing. So I'll probably find a different car park.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
I fully expect someone just to walk past Mick's car and looking in through his back window.
I've expected a policeman to walk past the back window during this podcast, I think.
Just knocked up window with his truncheon. Excuse me, mate, what you doing in that car?
Wait, one drove past last time, didn't it?
Yeah, I think that's what they're doing.
Okay. What a way to end. So, thank you very much, everybody. And we'll see you all for the next episode. Thank you very much.
Pringle looking towards Agard. Ravel